Hi, I'm Neill. I'm a mindset coach.
And I'm Jeff Jordan. I'm a mental coach for fighters and athletes.
So, Jeff, what do you think is the most important thing on relaxing? So, we teach a lot about relaxation. So, what do you think is the most important aspect of relaxation?
Um, yeah, that's an interesting question. I guess it depends on why a person wants to relax. I mean, I think it's important for everyone to be able to relax. Certainly, I think we learn better when we're relaxed.
Yeah.
And we're able to kind of take in more information, right? I mean, that's just taking your brain away from processing activity and just kind of giving you more resources. When you're relaxed, you're not having to process so much information, right? If you were trying to learn something while riding a bike, it may be a little bit more difficult than if you were to be sitting stationary in a comfortable chair. You maybe just allow more processing power for that activity you're doing.
I think relaxing helps you focus more. So, like my thing, the most important thing to be able to relax is to be comfortable with your eyes closed. You can relax with your eyes open, yes, but obviously when you close your eyes, it turns off all the external. But a lot of people, I would notice that when I ask them to close their eyes, you can see their thought process and like with you, and especially when you do it in a group, they close their eyes and they give a wee peek to see is everyone. So I think, and it's a weird thing to practice, but just like I would tell people to practice before they go to sleep. Lie in bed, close your eyes, but not to sleep. Lie in bed, close your eyes, and then show gratitude or something for your day. So talk about something that you're grateful for, and that'll help switch off all the ambient noise. And then again, it's for focus then. So the more you can relax, the better you can focus to learn whatever you're trying to learn.
Yeah, I think it's important certainly important for athletes to relax and to visualize. And I think we've talked about this before, that once an athlete has a ritual, has those steps that they can take themselves through when they're relaxed, when they're visualizing, then they can apply those to in the middle of training. They can sort of they have that process of where they can get into that space where they're visualizing themselves performing their best. They can not only do that in a nice comfortable chair, they can also do that kind of in between sets or in between training sessions.
You can do that with any training. Like I would work with runners as well, and you can get them in between laps. So at the start of the lap, it's as if they just switch back on. So it feels like it's the first one. So then whenever they're getting tired by the end of the lap or by the end of the mile or whatever, they're able to feel like once I hit this next mile, I'm back to the start, and I can go on. So you can get it so that you can relax in bed or sitting in a chair, so that you can use it when you need it. And for fighters, whenever they're able to relax like that, it means that they can visualize what it's like to fight with a crowd and and everything, so that when they get in front of a crowd and they're standing in the cage and they're calling their name out and everyone's going mental, that doesn't distract from their game plan and from their set of what they've set out to achieve that day.
Yeah, I'd say another big piece of relaxation is just to be able to practice it. Like, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Certainly, you would want. It's ideal to be able to do it without a chemical, right? It's interesting that most people don't traditionally have a good practice of relaxation without having a drink or smoking something or whatever it is, right? I mean, yoga is a good. The after effect of yoga kind of gives you that natural relaxation.
Even meditation, if you when you practice meditation, you can practice it anywhere. Like one of the things that I would get a lot, like we've talked about this as well, is that people would say, "Oh, I can't meditate. I can't switch off to meditate." But meditation, you don't switch off to meditate. Meditation teaches you how to switch off. So then, when thoughts come in, you just deal with them and move on. Like, my example is always, imagine you're sitting with your eyes closed meditating, and your mum comes in and says to you, like, I want you to go to the shop after this to buy your dinner or whatever. You wouldn't go mad and shout, like, get out of the room, I'm busy. You would just thank her and then go back to what you were doing. So I think that when you're sitting meditating, you can switch off that way by appreciating the thoughts that come in and just dealing with them then and there. Like, if it is to go to get dinner, you can say, thanks, no bother, I'll sort that out after, and then that goes away rather than arguing and fighting within your head. So then again, you can do that. The more you practice that, you can do it everywhere.
And the key is the key to almost everything is just to continue to practice.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think most people get frustrated where they don't think they're doing it the right way, or they struggle with quieting their mind, and they kind of give up before they've really even gotten very far in the practice. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Practices, there's no perfect technique. There's no one person who's mastered it, and I mean, it just requires practice. And even if it's, I teach my fighters visualization techniques that they have to practice, for 5 minutes a day. And even if it's a 5 minutes of focused visualization, then that's more important than doing it, trying to set aside 20 minutes a day and not being focused or not being totally engaged in the process while doing that.
So our recap on relaxation would be then you just need to practice. Practice is key, and even just edge out 5 minutes a day, close your eyes, and just see what happens rather than forcing yourself to get 20 minutes.
Yeah.